It's so exciting to be back here this time of year. Every one of these phases we talked about is a new level of excitement, and this is the first one where the whole team is together. And they put the pants on here, and we look like a football team, even though we're not quite in pads yet. And our guys did a great job. It's hot. We practice fast. We double down a lot of periods, and our guys don't bat an eye.
Mandatory minicamp week for the Ravens. Under the hot sun of Owings Mills, the team's summer workouts culminating on the field with a focus of training camp just around the corner. It's Ravens Talk. I'm your host, Brett Harris, here at the Under Armour Performance Center. Certainly good news, full attendance for this Ravens mini camp. The team's final practices before they turn their attention to training camp in late July. And let's turn our attention to the field. On the defensive side of the football, mainstays Terrell Suggs and Haloti Ngata leading the drills. The defense certainly has that veteran leadership. Now, last season, the Ravens finished 12th in total defense, but they still feel that there's plenty of room for improvement. And making those steps starts right now in camp.
We can get better in all phases. We did a lot of good things last year, but we just need to do good enough to win games and get to the playoffs and have a chance to get to the championship.
It's clear that the Ravens feel there is room for an improvement on defense. They certainly have continuity with defensive coordinator Dean Pease. They also bring veteran leadership that can help them meet their goals.
Definitely, we have the opportunity to. I think it's a lot of it falls on some of the veterans to lead these young guys, and we definitely have the talent with all these younger guys coming in, and hopefully, Sis, myself, Chris Canty, and all those guys can rally this unit up and become a dominant defense again.
I just want to get better in all phases: run, pass, rushing, coverage, and just bring in more productive to the field. It's good, man. From what I've seen, man, we got a bunch of guys who love the game, so that's always important. They add a good attitude for football, love to practice, love to compete. So those type of things are key ingredients to having a good defense.
I think it's improved a lot. That's really something that we are gonna. It looks like it out here in OTAs. But again, we got to see it when all the pads are on. That's going to be the time to really assess it. But I really do believe that we've gotten faster. It sure looks like it anyhow. I'm very hopeful of that, and I think it's going to show that that's true. But we got a long way to go, and we'll find out when the pads come on and that first preseason game.
And the defense has also been infused with youthful talent.
These young guys they're amazing. Just seeing how athletic these young guys are, Terrence Sturgeon, and seeing Cap out there running around. So it's awesome. Brandon Williams doing great. So it's fun. It's being able to see some of these young guys progress, and it's just just hopefully we can create a great unit to be as dominant as we can throughout the season.
Now the Ravens have only two players that were starters in the Super Bowl: Haloti Ngata and Terrell Suggs. Defensive coordinator Dean Pease talking about this youthful movement on that side of the football. Said the competition has been great. The young guys have come in and contributed, and he feels the defense is only going to get better. Well, there has been a lot of focus on the Ravens' offense this offseason. It's certainly where the most change has come. After finishing last season ranked 29th in the NFL in total offense, the Ravens turned things over to new offensive coordinator Gary Kubiak, who brings with him a brand new system.
Any scheme, you want guys that play hard, and I tell you that John's guys play hard and they work hard. So, we get some reps involved in practice, so we're getting a lot to teach off of as a group. I think up front they've really responded to what we do. I think KO, has really responded. Jeremy's been a great addition to what we're doing.
Everywhere you go in the league, they run the same plays. They may call more different ones in the game, but they call different things. So you just got to get used to the terminology, kind of translate it in your mind, and just get adjusted.
And offensive coordinator Gary Kubiak has a few players that he's worked with in the past, but for the most part, the players are seeing this system for the first time.
We have some challenges going on, trying to catch Steve up with a new offense, Torrey, but yet there's a few people in each place that kind of knows the way I've done things and how I do things. So Jacoby's been a big asset, Owen's been a big asset with Dennis, and Justin's been a big asset with Ray.
It's a work in progress. For me, I'm new, and it's a new system. So it's a lot to get into, so I'm trying to run my routes as best I can, but without thinking too much. But still also get familiar with the positioning and the timing that Coach Kubiak wants, and then get on the same page with Joe as well. So we're both learning the system and learning each other.
And the best way to attack it is overload the offense.
That's my challenge right now. You know, it really is finding out what we do best, you know, and making sure I don't overload them. But I did think it was very important that we challenge them mentally as well as physically, especially throughout the course of OTA. So, and I told them that. I said, guys, I'm gonna throw a lot at you. We need to go make some mistakes, but let's go make them hard. We'll figure it out, and we'll make sure come opening day we're doing what we do best.
A quick timeout here on Ravens Talk. Straight ahead, Ravens insider Cliff Brown breaks down the defensive side of the football. The secondary gets younger and faster. Does that mean they'll be better? Ravens Talk rolls on. The Ravens have added some youth on defense over the last few years in the draft. Matt Elam and Arthur Brown last season, Terrence Brooks and C.J. Mosley this year. The future is undoubtedly bright, as the Ravens expect a lot out of this group of youngsters. With our Ravens insider Cliff Brown. And Cliff, when you talk about a youth movement on defense, it's hard to believe only 2 guys on this defense started in the Super Bowl game. The last 2 years there has certainly been an influx of young talent, but how's that going to translate on the field?
Well, we're going to get a look at more young guys this year. We saw Matt Elam step into a starting role last year. This year we could see C.J. Mosley. We could see Terrence Brooks start at safety. So definitely a guy like Tim Jernigan could get some reps up front on the defensive line. So no question the Ravens defense is going younger. They think they'll be faster. The question is, will they be better? That's what we have to wait and see.
The 2 guys that started in that Super Bowl game, Lodi Nada and Terrell Suggs, how important will their veteran leadership be?
I think very important. I think it was going to be important last year, and I think, frankly, it was hard for those guys to step into that role at times because Ray Lewis and Ed Reed had carried that mantle for so long. This year, Haloti Ngata, interestingly to me, said he may have to step out of his comfort zone personality-wise and become more of a leader. I think you'll see that, and I think Terrell Suggs, naturally a gregarious guy, I think you'll see more of that this year. I think the other players want that too. Those 2 guys have earned the respect among their peers. I think the other players are looking for those guys to lead. I think they'll embrace that a little bit more this year.
It's funny you say that too, because at 8-8 last year, and that's a big part of it, but those 2 guys didn't seem like they were having a lot of fun. When you watch them out here now, the smiles have returned. They seem excited for the season.
Yeah, well, everybody's undefeated now.
That's right, good point.
I think that they have had a lot of time to think about what for them is a highly disappointing season. I mean, Ravens hadn't missed the playoffs in 6 years. Haloti Ngata and Terrell Suggs were here for all that success, including the Super Bowl. So that didn't sit well with them. This year, I think that they're all determined not to let that happen again. And yeah, I think they want to set the tone right away that, we didn't play Ravens football up to the level that we're used to last year. Let's start from day one, heading into training camp, playing that way.
Let's talk about the top pick in C.J. Mosley and his learning curve. And as you watch these reps out here in the OTAs and the minicamps, a lot of mental reps. What are you seeing out of the youngster?
Well, his teammates have been impressed with C.J. Mosley, how quickly he picks things up. He's a leader. We heard so much about him being a leader at Alabama, captain, so that's not surprising. I think it's very helpful for C.J. Mosley to be playing next to Darryl Smith, in between Terrell Suggs and Elvis Dumervil. He's got a lot of veterans around him. The whole load won't be on him. I think that's going to make it easier, but there's no question that they think Mosley's a guy who right away they need him defensively. I think Arthur Brown's going to challenge for that spot, but I think it's C.J. Mosley's spot to lose.
And the one spot I think we'll keep maybe the closest eye on when you talk about the defense is the secondary, and especially the safeties. Matt Elam going into the second year, and Terrence Brooks looks like he'll be the other safety, a rookie. A lot of inexperience back there.
No question. I mean, it would be kind of risky to go with 2 safeties that young, which is why I don't think you can totally rule out that Darian Stewart might at least start the season as a safety. They're not going to give the job to Terrence Brooks. He's going to have to earn it. Last year, Matt Elam didn't start the first game, but they struggled so badly in Denver, they had to make a switch. I think Brooks is a guy I'm impressed with the way he talks. He's obviously a very intelligent guy. He doesn't seem overwhelmed by the responsibility of starting. And then, of course, coming from a national championship team, he's used to winning. So I think if Brooks shows during the preseason he's ready to start, he will. And then they'll just have to hope that the 2 of them together, with Elam playing his more natural strong safety, won't make the big mistakes and give up big plays.
And looking over all the OTAs and this mandatory minicamp, your overall impressions of this defense, certainly continuity is big when you talk about Dean Pease running the same defense these guys are used to.
No question. I think there are going to be two keys for the Ravens defensively this year. Better pass rush, create more turnovers. Those are two areas last year where, particularly late in the season, they didn't do well enough. They've got to get more pressure on the quarterback. They've got to get more takeaways, give the offense a short field. I feel these guys are going to be in position. They're going to be a solid defense. They're going to play well together. But can they make the game-changing plays that they made during their Super Bowl year? I think that'll make the difference between whether they're just a good defense or a very good defense.
And straight ahead, he could be the Ravens' secret weapon on offense. We'll chat with H-back Kyle Juszczyk. Stick and stay. Ravens Talk continues. After a solid college career for the Crimson of Harvard, the Ravens selected Kyle Juszczyk in the 4th round of last year's draft. He's a hybrid player who can deliver a big hit as a fullback or catch the ball downfield as a tight end. And he's expected to fit perfectly into the Ravens' new-look offense. Kyle, sophomore season, what is it that you learned? What really sticks out from when you talk about going from first year to second year for you?
Man, first year to second year is a huge difference. You know, it's just like when you're in college going from freshman to sophomore year. You just, you know, you're a lot more familiar with things, you're a lot more comfortable. That's the biggest thing for me is I felt more comfortable, you know, with the environment, with my teammates, with the playbook, coaches, all that kind of stuff. It's more of a comfort level than anything.
Tell me exactly what H-back is, what it means, hybrid fullback. It's something kind of new to the NFL, and what, you know, as a fan, what is that position?
You know, an H-back it's a number of positions. You know, it's a fullback. It's, you know, it's kind of a tight end. It's kind of a slot receiver. You know, you do a lot of different things, and you come from a lot of different, you know, places on the field. So, you know, that's something that I've always done. You know, have multiple roles. So, H-back, I think, you know, fits my skill set pretty well.
What does it mean in Gary Kubiak's offense? And we've heard about how it's sort of a, you know, running offense, tight end offense, all these things that really fits into your position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I fit really well into Coach Kubiak's offense, and you know, I've been really happy with what he's had me doing so far. You know, what my role is. So I'm really excited about what, you know, we can do with this whole thing.
What is it like consuming this new offense, the terminology and the system and all that goes into it? OTAs, these mini camps, what has that been like?
You know, it's been good. It's, you know, being my second year here, I feel like we did a good job of kind of like easing our way in. You know, we learned piece by piece through football school, through OTAs, and now mini camp. We just kind of have built on each week. You know, rookie year, you come in rookie mini camp, you kind of just get piled on. So I think we've done a really good job teaching it.
When you talk about what's important at your position, I know blocking certainly jumps out. How much better do you think you are as a blocker when you talk about year 1 to year 2?
You know, I feel really confident right now in my blocking. Obviously, the true test is going to be when the pads come on. But right now, I'm feeling really good about my body position and, you know, how I'm throwing my hands. So I'm excited to, you know, see what I can do once these pads come on.
Obviously, when you go back to your college career, Harvard, a guy who was Ivy League Player of the Year, how much, though, are you tested in the locker room when you talk about the intelligence, right? I mean, they hear Ivy League.
Yeah.
Are they testing you in there?
Absolutely. I don't think a day has gone by since I've been here that Harvard hasn't been used against me in some way. You know, if I get any question wrong, if I say anything, the whole Harvard thing has dropped on me. So I'm used to it. I just embrace it. You know, maybe they're jealous they didn't get to go to Harvard. So.
And coming up on Ravens Talk, John Harbaugh heads into his 7th season as the head coach. Considered one of the best in the NFL, we'll take a look back at his impact on the Ravens. Six seasons, 5 playoff appearances, 3 AFC Championship games, and 1 Super Bowl title. Not a bad resume for head coach John Harbaugh. As he heads into season number 7, Coach Harbs remains focused on keeping the Ravens as a top-tier team in the NFL. John Harbaugh's arrival to the Ravens had an immediate impact. The rookie head coach led a turnaround that more than doubled their win total from the year before. With a rookie quarterback under center, the Ravens marched through the playoffs, beating the Dolphins and the Titans, both on the road.
We always thought we'd be here. You know, I think our guys feel that way. It's not something we want to back away from. You know, our guys have a lot of confidence. We think we've been a good football team.
Good job, baby! Let's go!
When you win on the road, you take a good football team. When you win at home, you have a good football team. That's what gives you a chance to be successful.
However, Coach Harbaugh's postseason run would hit a roadblock in Pittsburgh, falling to the Steelers in the AFC title game, still far exceeding the early expectations for the first-year head coach.
This is our beginning. You know, this is where we start. This is not an end by any stretch for the group of players in that room.
The playoff run in 2009 got off to an explosive start. In their very first postseason play from scrimmage, Ray Rice ran 83 yards for a touchdown. The Ravens and Coach Harbaugh had another road playoff win, this one in New England. The Colts, however, would knock the Ravens out of the AFC divisional round the following week. "2010 would result in another trip to the postseason. And after cruising by the Kansas City Chiefs in the opening round, the Ravens went toe-to-toe with their rivals, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Again, playing on the road, the Ravens opened a second-half lead, 21-7. The 3 third-quarter turnovers would turn the tide. The Ravens would suffer their most heartbreaking loss. Despite 3 straight playoff wins, the questions began. Can Coach Harbaugh get the Ravens to a Super Bowl? The next 2 years would certainly provide the answers. In 2011, the Ravens were perfect in their division and at home. The AFC North champs finished the regular season 12-4, earning a first-round bye at a home playoff game. They took care of the Texans, helped by a late Ed Reed interception, setting up an AFC Championship game showdown in New England. Coach Harbaugh had his team one step from the Super Bowl, but it seemed their road playoff magic that they were so used to would run out. A drop pass and a missed field goal. End of the Ravens season with a sting that had not been felt before.
I really don't think our fans need any reassurance, and I don't think they're asking for any. I think our fans understand, what's inside our guys and how they fight. I think our fans are proud of what they've done this year and in past years. And our fans, sure, they're disappointed in losing this game. So are we. We're in that together in that sense. We wanted to win the game. They won the game. Give them credit, and we'll move forward and we'll try to become a better football team. And we will become a better football team. That's what we do.
Motivated by how it ended in New England, the Ravens and Coach Harbaugh were ready for something special in 2012. As the Ravens headed toward a 5th straight playoff appearance, they rallied around Ray Lewis's last ride. In the final home game of Lewis's Hall of Fame career, the Ravens discarded to the Colts in the wild card round. The divisional game in Denver is when it all seemed that destiny had hit its target.
Flacco steps up, throws deep, far sideline, Jacoby Jones has it at the 20. Jacoby Jones, touchdown, Ravens!
The Mile High Miracle helped the Ravens pull off one of the most spectacular and shocking postseason wins in NFL history.
That football game did the game of football proud. I'm just proud and grateful to have a chance to be associated with this game. Humbled for the opportunity to stand on the sideline in a football game like that.
And it only seemed fitting that a return trip to New England stood between the Ravens and a date in the Super Bowl. They would conquer that adversity from the season before. and celebrate their success by raising the AFC Championship trophy.
The question always is, what does this feel like? Is it soaking in? Is it?
Well, the champagne's soaking in.
I can see it in the.
Coach Harbaugh's greatest accomplishment would come coincidentally against his younger brother. Ravens and 49ers in Super Bowl 47. And finally, what had been building for 5 years of playoff appearances culminated in New Orleans. And Coach Harbaugh and his Ravens hoisted the Lombardi Trophy. Harbaugh's playoff record has been quite amazing. 9-4 in the postseason, 6 of those wins coming on the road. He's the only coach in NFL history to win a playoff game in each of his first 5 seasons. He's taken the Ravens to 3 AFC title games, winning 1, and his greatest win, a Super Bowl title. And Coach Harbaugh and the Ravens will next be on the field for the kickoff of training camp, which will begin the 3rd week in July. That'll put a wrap on this week's edition of Ravens Talk. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you right back here next week.